In this short tutorial, we're going to be looking at how the site can be used to guide teachers and pre-service teachers in making judgments about their performance. Using the top bar, if you go to the heading Evidence as a starting point, on this page you can see a range of images and some accordion headings. Importantly, the whole area of making judgments is around what evidence are you basing the decisions on. Each of these accordion headings are related to the assessment practices that we use. It explains the evidence and, particularly as an example, talks about a particular Australian standard and asks you just to use that in a sense of what exactly is this standard meaning. And there's an activity there that can be looked at and saying, if you were looking for the evidence that someone has shown you that they can plan and structure a sequence of learning, then what particularly could you discuss with your colleagues using the site, the types of things that you would regard as being evidence? And that way you can work back to what might be criteria. So there's some activities there in particular that you will be able to use to help you think through evidence that matches criteria. Once you do that activity, you might want to have a look at the video and to talk through and discuss how you see that performance in the video helping you to identify evidence and therefore be able to see the criteria. And there's a variety of information in this particular heading, what evidence should you look for, that can help you. And the most important thing is about the validity and the, I suppose, evidence that is clearly able to be explained to a pre-service teacher. This then is linked, if we scroll back up, to the Making Judgments site there at the top. Now, if you were a secondary teacher, there is a video that you can use for this particular discussion around evidence if you click on Candace, and this is a particular secondary environment that you can have a look at and do any of those activities linked to this video. Moving into Making Judgments, you then can see that if you are going to make decisions, what context are you making those decisions in? And importantly, you can follow these accordion headings in order, or particularly decide, well, context does matter, and within there you might want to start about the discussions for you in relation to how does context, and here's the heading here, affect the ability to meet a standard. And there's here again links to videos, and these are both linked really to junior secondary, so they're suitable for primary and secondary teachers. And there's also a year 1, this is this one here. There is another primary setting here around about year 4, and you can actually watch each of those videos and just discuss what is seen just in the classroom, such as the size of the class or the group, the age, all of those things that particularly would affect your expectations of performance with that classroom. And there are a number of considerations that we help provide for that. Of course, the other important thing in this Making Judgments is the actual learning stage of the pre-service teacher. And this particular accordion heading and the activities below will actually draw your awareness to what you would expect from a pre-service teacher who is working with just a small group, not a whole class, and this might be because it's their first practicum. If there was a particular teacher who is clearly close to the final practicum or in their internship, and what would you expect at that stage, because they are developing their knowledge in each course and in each professional experience opportunity as they progress through, in most cases, a 4-year program or a 2-year program, and in some cases even a 1 year, because of the big graduate entry differences across our states. So, look at the questions. There's a lot of opportunity here, particularly to use this site with a group of you, whether you're teachers who are supervising, but also for pre-service teachers. Finally, the decisions you make have to be, as we know as educators, based on the evidence. We've looked at evidence, but what are the actual criteria? Have we really explained these carefully enough, and how important are they when you start to make judgments? And is that something that the report that you're using reflects? So it's also valuable if you're in a school or in a teacher education institution and you have reports with you, to actually have those beside you when you do these activities. It may really improve the opportunity to be exact in the sort of feedback and clarification of the expectations here for someone performing. So these two particular sites on project evidence, the evidence site and the making judgment site, will guide you to make good decisions when assessing performance, as long as you look at those three important things: context, stage, and clear criteria and expectations.